your opponent has heroes at level 7 and level 8, it's really not that important in the scale of things. But what an absolutely amazing game this has been. Border teams using their ability just to be able to see what's in there, know what they're getting into, and looks like, oh wow, very sneaky border teams could be able to fire up into here, but unfortunately due to all the lumber harvesting, it's actually not going to be as effective as Infi probably hoped, and Infi I think just realised that it might not, that Fly can just run straight into here, and it looks like that we are going to be seeing a bit of a hero battle actually, and Fly needs to be careful not to be too ambitious. Bear being brought out now, that's going to be very, very nice for chasing down these units, and you need to be so careful that you don't get bashed, because you can easily be bashed and then you get surrounded, but it looks like that one bash actually came a bit too late to actually be doing anything, and it looks like Blink being used to save this bear. Would have been nice if you could attack that raider a bit more, but you can't have everything in life. Oh wow, god, I'm losing my voice. It's been 45 minutes of game, and still no expansions on these lower 3 base, or these lower 2, and everywhere else I think is being mined now. Oh no, so, yeah, every other mine is currently being mined or has been mined, and more invisible critters, or not critters, summons being used, but this sentry ward here going to just completely be able to nullify the effect of that and actually get stop the Colbys from being able to attack. I need to be so careful with his heroes here not to lose them, and you can see this game has actually gone from a fairly static one to a very dynamic one where we get all the mass DPs, and now it's actually gone a bit back to a bit of a static one, because I think Infi knows that he really needs to keep his these towers alive, just so, and against the shockwave he can't really be keeping away too much, just because he will lose those towers very quickly, and at that point his map control really quickly diminishes, and actually one ensnared Spellbreaker here being used almost as bait to try and hunt down some raiders who are a bit over ambitious, and looks like, is that a Demolisher? Yeah, Demolisher now out for Fly as well, and so that would be very nice against all the casters in the back if you can get the range. Meanwhile, Chainwave being used to great effect to take down all the non-magic immune units, and it looks like pretty much only breakers left for Infi as well as his heroes and the summons, and Infi being so aggressive with these towers, constantly setting them up, constantly forcing Fly to fight whatever Infi thinks he has an advantage. But you know, Mass DP being used, but you have to remember that Mass DP is a much smaller range than normal teleport. I'm not sure if that was a mistake or not. I think it must have been a mistake, and I think Infi didn't really mean to leave all his units behind there. Fortunately, he had done a very nice job of focusing on all the raiders, so there was no ensnare. He did eventually manage to get away. Maybe it was intentional, but it is always a bit tricky when you have to remember that, as I say, Mass DP has a much smaller radius than teleports, and you do need to be very, very careful when you're using it, because it's so easy to be complacent. Cannon tower out now for Infi. Why not? I mean, there's no real reason for it, but it's certainly pretty nice. Maybe even get a couple cheeky shots off on the Spirit Walkers. Obviously, it'll do a whole bunch of extra damage if they stay still. But oh wow, just such an intense game. I think Infi a bit overextended himself with these towers, and now he's being a bit punished. Wow, upgraded Demolishers, you almost never see this. Good to be able to take down these towers fairly quickly, and I think Infi a bit scared to move into that range, and it looks like Fly could be able to do a whole lot of damage now. Infi really just constantly losing all his non-magic immune units, but at the same time you can't just go breakers. I mean, you have to have something else, and so it looks like actually Infi going to be using this bear maybe to try and harass this base. It looks like actually setting up some expansions here, or setting up some towers here. I guess Infi wants this expansion, and he knows Fly isn't using it, and so probably won't defend it too fiercely for now. And meanwhile, the Demolisher's now pushing in just everywhere. This obviously these towers are a bit too far to try and just push with Demolishers, so instead he just has to go for other things. And this Witch Doctor now putting down some more sentry wards just everywhere he can, and these Demolishers now in a bit of a bad position, but the Raiders run forward and probably going to try and get some ensnares off, but instead looks like Infi just going to be using his Mass TP to get out of here. Oh wow, do you see how quickly that Archmage was taken down to almost no hit points just by that chain wave? As I say, you can do a whole lot of damage. Meanwhile, that Beastmaster gets up to level 7 now, so he will be having the level 3 Quillbeast, which put out a whole bunch of damage. Obviously he went for level 3 bears first, which is an unusual choice, but certainly has worked well for him in the whole harassing game. And look at all these towers, they could well go down. They're very nice protected, but at the same time there's just Infi TPing away, so these towers will go down, and Infi should cancel them just to save a small bit of money. And it looks like, meanwhile, Infi just can be able to do a whole lot of damage. This is why both sides were really fighting for that middle ground, is that if one side leaves, there's just so much that damage that can be done. And you can see Fly being forced to TP in. Infi gonna have to run all his units back, and the meanwhile gonna take a lot of damage. Meanwhile, those with just one volley from those mortar teams, it's a whole bunch of damage to pretty much any of Fly's units at this point. And looks like a mass DP again trying to be used, but being again cancelled. And chain wave goes off, kills that Archmage in one swoop. Level 7 Archmage goes down. That's mightily expensive to buy back, and oh my god, it's either gonna take a very long time, or it's gonna be tavern back, at which point it could probably just be chain waved again if he's not very careful. Wow, oh my god, this game has just gone really insane. I can't believe that. I should definitely try and watch this tavern, watch this space, and if anything comes up in it, just immediately ensnare and chain wave it. Oh, it looks like Infi just managed to get away using invisibility to save it. Very nice. And so maybe even if I didn't notice it, maybe he was looking elsewhere. Maybe he didn't try and kill it, to be honest. And it looks like actually both sides towering up this side. They realize that it's basically one of the last resources. And this mine as well could be taken, but obviously Fly might well want to just sort of try and deny Infi any sort of mining as much as possible, at least. And meanwhile, Mass TP being used, actually missing a couple breakers. As I say, it's very easy to miss units because the radius is so much smaller, but it looks like Fly going to be able to push forward now. Infi obviously is going to have many fewer units because he had to spend so much money on taverning back a level 7 hero. That's just so expensive. And as Infi tries to take down these couple towers, it looks like we will be seeing Fly deciding to try and actually pick a fight here. But Infi just completely unable to take a fight, constantly having to TP away. And it looks like Fly not going to get out these towers here. Oh, maybe he will with these two units, but oh my god, so many units left behind here by Infi. It's such an easy mistake to make, but I can't believe he's made it 3 times now. Oh my god, that's just so careless now by Infi. Probably a bit tired after playing for 45 minutes. Probably will sort of couple under APM as well. But look at this mass TP being used to uses Beastmaster, uses Summon to take out all these low units. Very strong play here by Infi. Still obviously thinking very well about what he's doing. And this mine can't have much left in it. Only 2,500 left in this mine. And this mine's down. And 3 Griffin Aviaries going up for Infi now. He probably will be getting that very soon. Very interesting play here by Infi. Hopefully he can catch Fly off guard, maybe do a lot of damage. And looks like this one bear not lasting for quite long enough to take down that one Spirit Walker. But even then, it could just be it could just be reincarnated for free. It'll just cost the experience basically. And this Kobe managed to take down one bestiary. And oh my god, what a fantastic game. Tier 3 now researched for Infi, obviously, because he is going for Griffins. And oh my god, what a crazy game. Infi again using Mass TP, but it looks like things again missing out a couple of priests. And oh my god, is he building? No, not building Griffins yet. He doesn't have too much money. He's at 57 food. A bit interesting choice there by Infi. He'd probably be best either pick a fight now or just go absolutely as many Griffins as he can, and sort of say it's gonna be a bit less of a surprise, and I'm not gonna come in with 30 of them. But at the same time, I'm gonna be able to do a whole lot. And very nice play there by Infi, waiting for all the ensnares to be used by Fly and then using his mass TP so he could get out safely. And level 9 Tauren Chieftain, oh my god, so level 2 Stomp, as well as level 3 Shockwave, as well as level 3 Aura, as well as level 1, or sort of the only reincarnation. Oh my god, crazy, epic, amazing game. It's not even over yet. And oh my god, this one bear coming in here, gonna be able to take down or sort of do some damage to these towers, and it's just sort of the war of attrition that we've been seeing. Oh my god, what a fantastic game. Such harassment by Infi all game long, but such resilience by Fly, making very good use of Orc towers, which are so underused. It's just really tricky to use them to use them well. And it looks like Infi killing off his own peasants now just to free up some food, could be down to 50 food. Very smart choice there by him. So it's going to mean that he can really get a lot more gold, and then eventually push up. Once he feels he has enough, he's clearly going for the big surprise strategy, as opposed to I just want some Griffins now so that I can take down a whole bunch of their units. Obviously only 2 Raiders now for Fly. He just is gone for so many Spirit Walkers because of the army composition of Fly, or of Infi, sorry, is just so heavy on the casters, and there's just so many units that he just constantly needs to be getting rid of. And it's Archmage now mass TPing into the space, which Fly has set up an expansion on finally, and some towers going down now. Maybe if he could set these up as cannon towers, he could leave basically, and that'd be very nice. Instead, it looks like he's going for guard towers, and oh my god, Fly has responded, and Infi has actually a decent position, to be fair. I mean, it's a better position he's had than in most of his fights, but still that chain wave gets through, and all his non-magic immune units do go down, and TP has to be used. And even though the summon is going off by that Beastmaster, he just can't afford to stay in this fight for any longer. He is going to lose these towers, and actually he didn't manage to cancel one of them, but that's not too big a shame. And it looks like a reincarnation being used there as well, just to bring back those Spirit Walkers as well. Such a snazzy little move there, and still no one's managed to take anything from this mine. Very, very competitive, just trying to sort of get the biggest economy. And these Demolishers still 0-0 upgrade. I'm amazed there's no armor upgrades for Fly, actually. I think those would have been very nice in this game. And looks like, I guess the game's not over. 1-1 upgrade still on these breakers. I think a couple more upgrades for them would be nice. Actually, no, he needs to be going for Griffin upgrades at this point. He's getting Cloud as well, actually. Really interesting choice there. I very much like this, considering that there's so many towers around. He probably doesn't have one place where he wants to use it, but he just knows that it's that he's not doing anything with this Griffin Aviary.